This romanticism about a ruthless dictator is...
Mr. Spock, we humans have a streak of barbarism in us. Appalling, but there, nevertheless.
There were no massacres under his rule.
And as little freedom. No wars until he was attacked. Gentlemen.
Mr. Spock, you misunderstand us. We can be against him and admire him all at the same time.
Illogical.
Totally.
Welcome back to Chillporial. I'm your host, Brian, the Nerdporial life form. And well, tonight's guest we got for my first time talking to him in a long time, Matt from Foulball Productions. How you doing, Matt? It's good to have you back. Good to talk to you.
Thank you. It's good to be here, man. It's been a while. You posted that I think it was this past week's podcast or maybe the week before. Is it Fuentes adjacent? Yeah, because of his comments on Stalin. And dude, that's such a good pull. That is just such a perfect summation of the whole thing, right? And everyone, that was the clip they kept going with, and even Ben Shapiro tried to run with it in his little takedown video, and is like, these guys admire Stalin. It's like, no, they don't. He said an offhanded comment in an interview with Tucker, and then they just fold that in right into the narrative. There it goes, just tucked right in. He loves Stalin. It's just like, oh god.
I mean, you can still admire the guy. You don't have to necessarily you don't. I mean, there's this thing called nuance. You're not gonna approve of everything he's done, but I mean, but you can still, you can still respect what he managed to accomplish. I mean, he did murder people. He did. I mean, if you're familiar with the Gulag Archipelago, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Solzhenitsyn gives a terrifying tale about about getting put in the Gulag, and then people were like, it was normal in the Soviet Union. It was normal for people to just get arrested and get put away. It was just part of life. And I don't know if 1984 kind of covers this, men were usually given up by women and children, especially children. Like 1984 talks about this, and there's like this case where there was a case that I read about. I don't know if it's pure propaganda, but there was this kid that basically gave up his father to the state. This was in the 30s, so Stalin was already well into power, and the rest of the family murdered the kid.
Whoa.
Yes. And I forgot what happened to the family. I don't know if any of it's true, but the state, the Soviet state honored the kid for he's a true soldier, he's a true patriot and all that. So it's crazy where this idea comes from that kids could betray you. Really, your kids could betray you. Betray your women, your wives are easily fall for the propaganda.
Well,
it's crazy.
We have modern examples. I mean, if you remember during January 6th, there was some kid who ratted out his dad. He called the FBI and told them that his dad was at January 6th and he got arrested.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that was a pretty big story at the time. And it was your son, because he's probably on some woke liberal shit, and he's just like, my dad's a Nazi, and then sold him out, and he got as far as I know, he got the fate that the rest of them got, which is no trial and permanent incarceration
until
Trump shows up. Yeah.
So, by the way, just to let everybody know, I am drinking. I brought the whiskey for this one. I brought some Lagavulin Islay Scotch whiskey. That's what I'm drinking.
Yeah, Lagavulin's good. Is that 12-year?
Let me see. I got the distiller edition. Where is it?
Oh, it might be the blend, but I don't know. Because if it's a distiller edition, maybe that means they blended a bunch of different barrels together.
They probably did. Yeah, that's what it's looking like here.
Yeah. Lagavulin's good. That's what they do with Johnny Walker Blue. That's a blend. It's not a single malt,
Haven't had Johnny Walker in a while. I think I've had their typical red label. So
Yeah, it's trash whiskey, but it's one of those things that people like. The Armenians in LA, they love Johnny Walker Black.
Really
Love it. I didn't know this thing, but I used to work at this events hall in Glendale, and Glendale is like the Armenian stronghold in California. And every event we did, every wedding we did, there were multiple bottles of Johnny Walker Black on every table.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
They loved it. It was like a thing.
That's funny.
Yeah, I did not know that about the Armenians, but yeah. Armenians are kind of interesting because they're sort of like Arabs in the sense that they're kind of flashy and gauche. It's sort of like what they're over the top. They spinner rims and they dress real aggressive, but they're Christian.
Yeah.
Have this chip on their shoulder because of the Armenian genocide against the Turks. So there's
I didn't learn about that in history. I learned about this years after the fact because of social media. I mean, what do I know about Armenia? I mean, my buddy here, BPA, we have a friend. We call him the Prince of Armenia. He's the guy that he loves to party. He loves to drink. He's very, very outgoing.
Yeah. Very boisterous culture.
Very, very. Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah. But I never had any particular problems with them. There was they were, when they were at a wedding, they were maybe a tad demanding at times. And like I said, they're very bombastic, but they always tipped great and were, very nice, very kind. Whenever I worked events at their houses and stuff like that, I never, very hospitable, very kind,
Yeah.
I've worked for, you work for certain communities. They look down on you just because you're serving. And they're just like,
that part. I mean, a buddy of mine had, what was in chemical engineering at where we went to school, where we went to college, and his best buddy was Greek, and I got to meet that buddy's family. Nicest people.
Mm-hmm.
They made sure that you ate. They made sure that you were happy. They talked to you.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding. That's how the Greeks are, and they're awesome. They're awesome, and they're Orthodox, and they're awesome, and they, you take it. You want when Easter happens, party time.
Mm-hmm.
Christ is risen. Indeed, he has risen. We're freaking drinking.
Let's go.
Let's freaking go. Yeah.
To his fucking memory.
Yeah. I remember the I think it was Orthodox. So right after Easter service at midnight, that we have like a breakfast or luncheon or whatever right afterwards. So it's 3 a.m. and there was one of the priests got so drunk he was just like, hey kids, let's break this hard-boiled egg together. He take a hard-boiled egg and just start hey, come on, who could crack it more? And it was just, and I remember my mom being offended. I don't like this. I'm just like,
it's a weird look. It's seeing a priest hammered is kind of it's sort of like seeing your father cry. You're like, I know this happens, but I don't want to be witness to it.
Yeah.
It's whoa, this is weird. Or seeing, when you're a kid and you see your teacher at the grocery store or something, you're like, what are you doing here? You're not a person. Don't they keep you in a coffin in the school or something? What the hell?
By the way, before I even go any further, I want to say hello to Nosferatu, the vampire. What's up?
What up?
We got Salty Traveling Sea. Got my buddy Brian. His name's also Brian.
Oh, okay, cool.
We got my other buddy Staple Bro, young dude. And everybody's happy Friday. So this is gonna be we're going to be talking some more spicy content. This is not going to be your usual chiltorial. So, but yeah, man, I listened to your Fuentes video.
Thank you.
Fuentes reaction. I listened to your last MF podcast.
Thank you very much.
It's been really well. I mean, I'm just getting sick of I'm just getting sick of a lot of the other people I've been listening to lately. And I want to hear someone with sense of humor. I like how you say golf. I gotten into golf now. And I'm I want to get into golf. I went to one golf outing when I was working, and I got to see elements of my boss that you probably should never see. He would take the golf club, he'd miss it, he'd throw it down, he'd get so angry. I love the guy. It's a shame I don't work there anymore, but yeah.
It's dude, I love golf. I mean, like my last show, I was like, I'm not gonna bore you all, but I mean, I am obsessed. I don't know what happened. A switch flipped, and I'm obsessed. I only for about 20, 30 minutes today. I stopped by the driving range because me and my buddy are going to play at this new course in like North Austin tomorrow. It was like not new, but new to me. And I'm just like, I'm like pumped. And I don't know. There's something. So my buddy's girlfriend, my buddy Connor and his girlfriend, or I guess wife now, but they he's trying to get her involved, and she's optimistic, but not like loving it, not like completely. And I was like, it's like fishing, right?
He's trying to get her involved.
Yeah, like in golf.
Okay.
To come play, because like there's a pitch and putt in Austin called Butler Pitch and Putt, and she comes and she does that and she has a fun time, but the courses are tiny, right? They're small holes, like they're only 90 yards, maybe the most. Whereas on a real golf course it's 350 or whatever. So it takes a lot more power or a lot more hits to get there. So it's more of a commitment, and she's not crazy about it yet. But I was telling her, I was like, look, it's just like fishing, right? You don't go fishing to like sustain yourself. You go fishing to do the thing. And that's what golf is. It's like, yeah, obviously I want to hit every ball into the hole, on 2 strokes every time, of course, but that's not why you do it. You do it to do it, and you're outside, you're in nature, you have a couple pops. It's a good day. I'm upset. I hooked, brother.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, just being on the golf carts is fun.
Yeah,
and
it's a ball.
And my coworker that I was riding with was a maniac with it. I was like, holy crap! Like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you driving like this? Take it easy.
And he should, because I've seen compilations of golf cart crashes. Dudes get hammered. They get hammered on the course, and they just start. Yeah, I mean, it happens. It's a little wacky. Where do you live?
I'm in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're Fuentes adjacent.
Yeah. So I didn't like know that. I didn't know this guy existed until I heard about him a few years ago. And all I heard was, your typical talking points, white supremacy, anti-Semitic, and like, I grew up here in Chicago. I think you said in your stream too. My parents, my dad's no longer with us, but my mom's always been, a hardcore Democrat, same with my mom's family. Both of her older brothers, my uncles, graduated with political science degrees from colleges here in Chicago. And even my grandmother was Democrat too.
Yeah.
I mean,
same.
They took
thing.
took advantage of like all the Social Security, all the things that that benefits them. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that the Democrats like to do is they will get their constituents all riled up by saying that Republicans are going to take this away, they're going to take that away from you, and they're going to make your life terrible. And people believe that. My family is prime example of that.
My mom believes that with her whole heart, and I'm like, Mom, first of all, there's no way Trump's going to take away anything from the older demographic. Like that's his base. It's not going to happen. From just think of it strategically, right? Yeah. And look at the pushback he's getting just from like the rational stuff that he's doing. He's not going to destroy your healthcare. Trust me, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Probably should, at some point we do need to kind of cut this welfare state down at some level, on some degree. 38 trillion. I think we're overspending. I
mean, how many people come here just to get those benefits, and they easily qualify. People in government jobs don't care. I mean, I hate dealing with the state of Illinois. Like when I have to go and renew my license, I hate everything about it. Because the state does not look out for you at all. The state just wants your money. Mm-hmm. And I honestly hate the infrastructure. And Pritzker can go Prickster his way back to his Hyatt Yeah, to his Hyatt and all that. And
oh god, I know. And when I first moved here, moved to Texas, this was in 2021. I had a California license, but I let it lapse. So I had to, obviously I wanted to get a Texas license, but it was no longer valid. The California one was. I had a ticket years ago, but for some reason it was during the time that license was valid. So in order for me, I couldn't do it through the mail. I would have to go fly back to California and deal with like the California DMV. And I was like, well, I'm not doing that. So I was like, okay, what do? I had to basically start from scratch. Like you were 16 again. And I had to take a driving test. I had to take a written test. I had to do all that again. It was so crazy. Yeah. And it was, dude, and they were so bad. So I go there. This was just after COVID. So they were so backed up. I mean, it was like, I want to make an appointment. And it was like, yeah, okay. The first one's available in 6 months. You're like, what? How is anyone supposed to do this? So what they told me was the hack is to just show up early and maybe someone canceled, try to get on the list. And I was like, okay, so that's what I did. And it worked. And so the one woman at the front was very helpful. And then the other woman in the back was not. And so I was like, hey, listen, I have to fly in like 3 weeks. You're taking my old license right now that I need to fly. I don't have a passport. Is this going to be, am I going to be able to fly with what you give me? She's like, yeah, I'm going to give you an ID today and you'll be able to fly with that. Well, no, I didn't. No, she fucking did not give me an ID. She just gave me a stupid bullshit piece of paper that was not even good enough, wasn't even legal to drive with. And so I was just like, what? So I didn't have it. Luckily, I just happened to go back. Like, I talked to the woman, happened to go back 2 weeks later, and I was able to take the test and get my license. But if that stroke of luck didn't happen, I wouldn't have been able to fly home for the fucking holidays. And I was like,
that's
this
sucks.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah. My God.
I know.
And like, I've gotten to the point where I just like, there's all this bad attitude. Every time you go, there's this bad attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I just give it right back. I'm like, I'm not a kid. Don't fucking treat me like a kid.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with a lot of these politicians. Is a problem with a lot of these other influencers. Like, if I want to listen to this guy, if I want to hear what this guy Fuentes has to say, I'm going to listen to him. I'm an adult.
Yep.
I can differentiate. He's not going to what do you call it? What do you call it? Radicalize me. He's going to radicalize me. No, he's not going to radicalize me.
I'm an adult.
I'm an adult.
Think for myself.
Yeah, I mean, unless you can't think for yourself, and I mean, it's like parents with kids, that like, I don't want you hanging out with that guy and all that. Now, some kids are more,
I mean, a child, it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
And that's on the parent, though. You know what I mean? Because you can get radical. I mean, look at all these fucking girls trying to cut their tits off and become men, right? I mean, obviously, young people can be quite impressionable. So I wouldn't say
that was what I was looking for.
Yeah, but they're kids. They're they're literally children. Their brains aren't developed yet. So of course, there's a bit of a different
I was thinking teenagers, but but even teenagers, even their brains are still. I mean, what is it? 26? Your brain is still developing until you're 26. So
that's what I've heard. Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, like I don't know. For me, like I just I just knew who not to hang out with. Like I knew who was bad. I could just tell who was bad news and who was not bad news. And so like how what do they say? Like, you are who you hang out with or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's that saying? It's like if you lie with dogs, you get fleas.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. I've heard that. Yeah, I actually heard that. I didn't know that one until recently, actually.
Oh, really? It's a good one.
Yeah. So like for me, I went to Chicago Public High School. I mean, I went to one of those schools. I mean, I'm old enough I could say where I went to high school. I went to Von Steuben in Chicago. It's in the Albany Park area. It's in the northwest side of Chicago. And in 1999, you and I think are exactly the same age. I think we graduated at the same time.
I graduated in 03.
Oh, so did I.
Okay, yeah.
So 99 was when I started high school.
Mm-hmm.
And this school, like, they were building another high school like maybe like less than a mile away. It was called Northside Prep. It was considered the number one for a while. It was considered the number one high school in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
But so they were building this one, and they were building that school. And so my school does a lottery system where they take 25% white, 25% black, 25% Hispanic.
It's like a perfect checkbox. Like,
not quite. I think it was like I think it was like 25% Hispanic, like 23% black, 21% white, and the rest Asian or something.
That's crazy.
I don't know, but so I went to that school. I ended up going to, I was not accepted at first because I didn't make the lottery, but then a whole bunch of the whites that were accepted there ended up declining and going to this Northside Prep school instead. So they let me come in, and I was probably, you know how, like, you know, I'm not against diversity. I'm not against diversity of, you know, thoughts and, you know, ideas and all that. But it was like me going there. I'm like one of the few like Caucasians from this area. I'm in one of the better parts of, you know, northwest side of Chicago, and I was like one of the few like students there that was like fully, like, you know, already assimilated a few generations in. Like everyone else was either from Poland, or they were from, like, you know, from, you know, Asia, or from,
Oh wow.
or
They're
from
like
or from like the
European.
Balkans,
Wow.
or from the Balkans, or from my buddy here went to that same school for his first year, but he wasn't there when I went there, so because he's a year older than me. So but yeah, so yeah. I mean, there were some people. There.
That would suck. Even with the whites, you have no connection.
Yeah, they all spoke Polish. So I could never. And I mean, if you look at me, I mean, my ancestry is Polish.
Yeah.
And I don't speak Polish. I don't really have any like connection other than my last name to, you know, Poland. I mean, I didn't know my grandmother died before I was born, and she spoke Polish. So I don't have any. That connection was severed before I was even alive. So
yeah.
So
just because I'm a ski doesn't mean I'm a, you know, I speak the language, folks.
Yeah, yeah. And so there was like this big cultural difference, like, and I did not relate to people as much, and so like when you force all this stuff, you know, it's not necessarily a good thing. I mean, people who share values are more likely to make friends. Now, I did make friends. I had a buddy for a few years. You know, he was from Jordan, and we did history. We did our history fair project together. He got me into Dragon Ball Z. Okay. Like, he was watching it on Toonami. I never saw it before. I got hooked. Cell Saga, bro. Imperfect Cell Saga. Badass.
I had a buddy, you know, it's funny. His name was Will Clinton. Bill Clinton was his actual name.
Will it was his middle name wasn't Jefferson, was it?
I don't know. It wasn't. No, because he was born in the 80s. So like Bill Clinton wasn't like a prominent figure yet. But yeah. So like he
was governor of Arkansas. He was governor of Arkansas, and then
we didn't have the internet.
When was and then the Whitewater scandal, I think, was going on in the 80s, wasn't it? Maybe that was 70s.
I don't actually know. Yeah. I thought that was later, but I don't really know. But anyway, so so my buddy Will, so he introduced me to a bunch of anime too that like are still some of my favorite things ever. Like he introduced me to Ghost in the Shell, and Akira, and like a handful of others. His older brother kind of reminds me of Razor Fist.
Oh, with the long hair,
kind of metal, but like really brainy, like really smart.
Yeah.
And he introduced me to like a movie called Existence. If you've ever seen that.
I have not.
It's a Cronenberg movie. It's about this. It's sort of like this sci-fi concept of like in the future, video games will port right into your body, and then you kind of like go live there, sort of like the Matrix. It's like it's pretty sick. It's a pretty good movie. It's a little weird. The ending's a little odd, but it's a very fun ride. Willem Dafoe has a cameo in it. It's a good movie. Jude Law.
Yeah, I've seen a few Cronenberg. I've seen Scanners. If you ever seen Scanners, that's one with Michael Ironside is like the villain, and he causes this bald dude's head to explode like a cherry.
He can like do it remotely or something. It's like I think I have seen that. Yeah, I've seen that, and I've seen Videodrome.
Okay, I've not seen Video.
That was cool.
Yeah,
the visuals are crazy. It's very adjacent to Carpenter, like The Thing. Yeah, it has that same kind of grotesque, like kind of bubbly, like very real looking, kind of gross, but very like
bubbly,
captivating.
Sounds like a Rob Bottin special effect.
Yeah, I don't know. It's everything was like there's like it's Videodrome's insane, but it's a cool movie. But the visuals are really something else in that.
Yeah, I just did I usually for the Halloween season, I usually do something. My little series of movie reviews or movie streams with someone, I call it Serial Horror Chat. I have like an evil like intro, very menacing intro. I only did one of them this year because I just have very little time, and me and Leon from Words of Paradise.
Oh yeah,
we
Neon
did
Leon.
Neon Leon. Yeah, there you go. We did one called From Beyond. So last year we did Reanimator.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
And I was like, I have the I have the In Search of Darkness documentary,
Okay.
and I didn't know these movies existed. I'm like, hey, I know that's a Star Trek actor. That's Jeffrey Combs. And he's in these.
You're like Red Letter Media. You're
yeah,
like...
he's in these H.P. Lovecraft type movie. These two adaptations which are so violent and they're so gratuitous. Like you see the nudity, you see the tits, you see you and the violence and like the insane amount of special effects they put in. Like you see everything.
You know what I saw recently from that era that I had never seen? Actually, shout out to Nadia. She's able to get me the link because I couldn't find it. I genuinely couldn't find it anywhere. And I was trying to acquire it legally. I wasn't trying to pirate it. I was like, I'll rent it. I'll pay for it. It wasn't on any streaming site because I guess it's like there's still some weird litigation. But Near Dark. Yeah, it's Catherine Bigelow.
Oh, okay.
And it's Bill Paxton. Lance Henriksen. I always forget her name, but the woman who played Vasquez in Aliens.
Oh, Jeanette. I think Jeanette Goldstein.
Yeah. And I didn't recognize the two leads. I didn't recognize it, but it's a vampire movie. But it's a little different. Like if you ever saw, she did a movie before that with Willem Dafoe. I always forget the name, but it was kind of like this 50s greaser biker movie.
Oh, Streets of Fire.
No, I don't think that was it. It was like, let me look.
Because that's the one with Michael Pear, plays this tough guy. It's a Walter Hill film. And
she directed
Dafoe.
It's called The Loveless. The Loveless. And it's very moody. It's very slow. It's very like it's kind of like almost sort of nothing happens. It's sort of like some of those French films, which are just characters living their lives, like slice of life. And it's a little edgy. So
have you ever seen a messed up French? I have a few French films that are pretty messed up. I mean, they're thrillers, but yeah.
It was the whole French New Wave. It's like these movies that people rave about. It's like nothing happens in them. And that was the point. They were sort of anti-film. They were, kind of taking a critical look at what movies had been, this sort of saccharine romance and stuff. And they just stripped it all down and just made it bare and raw. And that was very revolutionary at the time. And that's what spurned our film revolution of the 70s, where we got all those The Godfather and The Last Picture Show, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and all these great movies because they took direct inspiration from the French. But what I was saying, so she did this movie called Near Dark after she did The Loveless, and The Loveless is very patient and nothing really happens. And Near Dark is sort of the same, similar tone. Great special effects, by the way. Okay. She was married to James Cameron. And you can see a lot of overlap because I guess that must have come out right around the time as Terminator. And there's a lot of especially towards the end, there's a big battle. Very similar.
Terminator 2, right? 1991.
Well, I think this was 87, maybe 86.
Okay.
It was right around the time of Aliens and Terminator 1. I think I'd have to double check this, but I believe that's correct. I believe it's the late second half of the 80s. But you could see a lot of Cameron's inspiration, influence on her filmmaking and the action style. And it's this really interesting movie because at times it is a slow, intimate movie. It's not really scary. It's more like a thriller, and it's sort of about this gang of vampires that, this guy kind of inadvertently gets introduced to because some girl bites him one night and he becomes a vampire and he has to come to grips with that. It's not the greatest movie ever, but it was cool. It was a very different movie.
This is The Loveless.
No, this is called Near Dark.
Oh, Near Dark. Okay.
Yeah, The Loveless was the movie that came before it with Willem Dafoe about the bikers. I don't
Okay.
necessarily recommend that unless you're like a real film nerd who like wants to like, oh, the
Oh,
cinematography was so smart and the, you know,
dude, I just watched yesterday. I watched
87.
I just watched Dress to Kill last night,
That's
and
right,
that's
I've
a
never-
that's a Brian De Palma film.
Oh.
I mean, it's not really a slasher. It's basically if Brian De Palma wanted to write his own Psycho.
Oh, okay.
Basically. So it's very like if you watch the movie, you'll see like, okay, this is very it's inspired. It's not, I mean, it's not the same thing, but it's very, you know, a woman dies in the middle of the movie basically, and we find out who the killer is, and the killer is a man dressed up in drag basically.
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, I think I might have watched a Red Letter Media about this movie.
Yeah, that Michael Caine's in it. Michael
Caine.
Caine's in it. What's her name? Nancy Allen. Because Nancy Allen was like, she was having a good time with Brian De Palma,
Yeah. That's from Indiana Jones, Nancy Allen, right?
No, RoboCop.
That's Karen Allen. Oh, right.
That's Karen Allen. So Nancy Allen was in, RoboCop.
Right.
She plays the partner. I forgot the partner's name.
Murphy.
Murphy. Murphy
Oh,
is
he's Murphy.
RoboCop.
Right.
I can't think of her name. Damn it.
I forgot that too.
But she was in like a lot of like De Palma stuff. Like she was in Carrie, the original Carrie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the movie, like this movie, like this movie got like for a not so very slasher. It has a very iconic, kill scene. And it's not in the shower, obviously, but there's a lot of nods to Hitchcock in this one. But it's a creepy movie. Like there was a sequence at the very end, and it was just just the look of it. Just the look of what you see, the imagery of what you see is terrifying.
Really? I've never seen it.
Like imagine like someone just shows up in your house and they're just standing. You're taking a shower. You're naked. You're taking a shower, and the bathroom doors open. You see a pair. You see a feet. You see a pair of shoes. Right by the edge of the door. You don't see the body though. You're like, okay, what do you do? And it's creepy as hell.
Yeah,
it was longer than a minute. It was like 3 to 4 minutes long. It took a while to pay off what happened. I'm not going to say what it was.
Yeah, sure.
But it was terrifying to me. I was just like, and I mean, I try not to say I scare easy, but I kind of do.
I do. I definitely do. I'm totally cool with that. Me and my ex, we watched.
That's a great movie. Definitely a movie worth seeing. And it got great reviews from Siskel and Ebert. They didn't shame like if you know anything about them, like when Friday the 13th came out, which was the same year, actually the same time, they literally shamed the actress that played Mrs. Voorhees. So like, how dare you? You're such a great actress. Why are you in this slop? And people, if you want to write your letters of disappointment to her, this is her address. Send it to her. So they doxed her. This is 1980. They doxed her, but they didn't dox her because it wasn't her real address.
Oh, okay.
So they got the wrong address. But it was just like, yeah,
dude, it's so funny because I remember back then, like not then because I wasn't like alive, but in the 90s and the 80s and stuff, it was all that where they're like, oh, all this sequels and slop and cinema has gone downhill. These motherfuckers were living through some of the best times movies had ever had in the 80s and 90s, and then like now it's like I'd beg to go back to the fucking mid 2000s. You know what I mean? Cinema quality, like they don't make good movies anymore. Like I don't care to see anything. It's like if I'm gonna go watch something, like unless it's like an event movie like Superman, like I'm really gonna need a lot of endorsement before I go check it out. Like even just the drinkers recommendation isn't going to do it. Like I need more than that.
Well, I mean, yeah. So I kind of fell off. I used to watch, Drinker and Neurotic all the time. I kind of fell off after they gave a glowing review to Picard season 3, and it's not good. It was a terrible show, but they liked it for some reason, which is fine. And I know a lot of people did, but it was.
Yeah, they love Predator 2, and I'm not a fan.
Predator 2?
Yeah, I don't like it. I think they just stopped at one.
With Danny Glover, you didn't like that? I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay.
It's fine. It's okay. It's nostalgic, but it's too long. It's way too long.
I mean,
And it like what they did, they made the sin, they committed the sin that, like, you know, that Predator 1 nailed and Jaws nailed, which they showed the fucking monster too much, and it demystifies it. It takes away the horror. You see it too much, and you can see like the fingers and the gloves bend, and you're reminded it's a guy in a suit, and you're like, God damn it! Like, it's one of those, you know, it's like sometimes those are good ideas, like obviously Aliens, obviously Terminator 2, but like Predator 2 is one of those ones where I'm like, I want to love it, but because there's cool scenes, like like when he throws that like boomerang thing that cuts the guy in half is great, Gary Busey, and like the whole, and they know about it. Like there's cool ideas. It's just like, it's not that good of a movie, and they talk about it like it's right up there next to Predator 1. I'm like, it's not even in the same family.
No, probably not. And my buddy here went and saw Predator Badlands, and people been giving that movie great reviews. Same with Prey. It's based on what he's been saying, it's another example of a terrible movie. Like, you just
triumph for women androids everywhere. It sounded terrible. I watched Drinker's review on it today.
Yeah, because according to him, he was texting us the entire time he was watching the movie, and like this Predator dude, the main Predator dude, is incompetent. Like, everything has to be done for him by these lady androids and all that.
Fucking
and
Disney movie, man. You know?
Yeah. So
that's the thing. It's like,
and the same with Prey. People gave Prey a good review. I watched it. I'm like, this main character is the reason why all the men in her tribe are dead. Yeah, she did something stupid.
This guy sucks.
And then all of a sudden, she's the hero at the end. Yeah. No. So, yeah, I haven't seen. I saw Predators. I thought it was okay.
That was okay. That's the one on the planet where they're like, that was a cool concept. It's still sort of the thing that these things effectively do, unfortunately, is they just water down the brand, because then it just becomes so many mediocre installments. It's like
Terminator. Terminator is like the perfect example. Like, Alien. You had the first Terminator, excellent slasher film, you know, and then you have Terminator 2, which flips it around. You're like, holy crap, Arnold's the good guy. What is this? So you have Arnold's the good guy,
Linda Hamilton putting in a fucking,
and then Linda Hamilton killing that
awesome
dude. Yeah,
that was great. I'm not gonna let you do it. I'm not gonna let you do it.
Exactly,
Mom. So great. Yeah.
and then they came out with more. I remember. I'm not. When did 3 come out? Like 2002 or something.
Which one?
3,
yes,
Rise of the
like
Machines.
3 or 4. It was like right around there. I remember that. Yeah.
I remember when it came out. I remember how the movie on it. Like, why the fuck did they make this movie? Why the fuck did they do this? Like,
yeah,
but you had the hottie. I mean, the one thing that saved that movie was the hottie Terminator.
Yeah.
Other than that,
what I kind of liked about it, and I don't like that movie, but what I liked was like, no, actually, no, I don't like anything about it. No, fuck that movie. Forget it. But it wasn't as bad as what they do now, which it feels like they're intentionally destroying it. Like, whereas I feel like when they did Terminator Salvation and they did T3, like, you know, yeah, they were cash grabby, but they were trying to do something. They weren't like with the express, like, implicit decision to destroy this thing and rebrand it and turn it into something it never was, you know, like the way they did with Alien Earth and the way they're doing with this, you know, new Predators movie. And
I still haven't watched. I still have not watched Alien Earth. Like, I've heard nothing or nothing good about it from anybody.
It's an abortion.
Someone actually said it's worse than Rings of Power.
That's what I think. That's what who said that? Was that Nick? Nick was saying that. Someone was saying that, and I get it. Like, I only watched the first 2 episodes of Rings of Power, and it was a god awful dreck. And that stopped me doing like culture war content when it came to movies, because I was like, I'm done with this. I do not want to torture myself and put myself through these things, you know, and have these horrible experiences and to milk it for content. Like, no one's waiting on my reviews. No one's waiting to hear, like, I'm not Critical Drinker. I'm not Gary. Those guys, they have an obligation to their audience to see these things and tell the audience what they thought about it so that their audience doesn't have to. No one's waiting on mine. So what the fuck am I doing? Why would I do this to myself? I'm getting so furious. So that was it. I stopped because I was pumped. I was like, I'm going to make so many videos about this terrible show. And I was sitting there like, this sucks. Like, I hate
Yeah.
this. I hate everything it stands for. It's not only is it like woke and gay, it's just boring and directionless and ugly to look at. And I was just like, fuck no, I'm out, man. I'm out. You know what? I'm not doing this anymore.
I mean, there's something called time it's more valuable than money. And I choose not to watch any of this stuff for that reason. I mean, the one show I watch, I hate, the one show that I hate watch, and it's because I'm reading the series and I have a big group of friends that are big fans, and they've been keeping track of this Wheel of Time. Now, Wheel of Time is nowhere near as popular as Rings of Power is.
That's canceled, right? They canceled that.
Oh, they canceled it.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if Game of Thrones wasn't adapted, or at least like all the major moments in Game of Thrones were not adapted at all, and they decided to do something mediocre and gay and as an alternative.
I was on a stream on Zax's show. I think it was Zax's show, and I forgot who it was, but someone on the show was a big fan of like the books and walked through.
Probably Prophet of the Dragon.
It might have been. There's always a rotating cast of characters on that show, so it's hard for me to keep everything straight. But he like walked me through all the reasons why it was like, and he was very patient because I didn't know anything about the story, and he explained to me like all the stupid things that they did with it, and it was like, it's shocking that they do these things like with the hubris and the audacity and no respect. It's just crazy. It's like, how long do you think you can really keep this up for?
It's like imagine if like, you know, like the same people like got a hold of Lord of the Rings and they made Frodo a murderer. They made Frodo and Sam and Merry and Pippin like murderers, and they changed their stories completely, and things that happen in the books do not happen in the show. Like, for instance, imagine if the Weathertop, chapter, didn't happen, or them going through Casa Doom and all that, like that, or the Balrog or something. Like they skip major. I mean, there's a lot of chapter. Wheel of Time's a much thicker book than the first book.
It sounds like also what they would have done is like the ring wouldn't have made Frodo invisible. The ring would have made him fly or something. Like, it's like they changed what the fundamental magic was, and you're like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, that's the other two. Yeah, these are probably who you're talking about, Lady Balefire and my buddy Alex.
It was probably
the White Cloaks.
Yeah, it probably was White Cloaks.
Yeah,
it was. Now that I know, yeah.
Yeah. Well, those guys. Yeah, I'm a friend of their channel. Basically,
they're great.
So everyone that they got, I've had all those guys on. So.
I like Alex a lot. He's smart. Like he's patient. Like he has got good takes. He doesn't just reflexively respond to things. His takes on Tarantino are horrible, but other than that, I tend to really like what he thinks.
Speaking of Tarantino, did you see that they're finally? I've been waiting years for this, but they're gonna release in theaters the Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's
5 hours or something.
No, it's just like they take both movies and there's like an additional like 7-8 minutes of the anime scene. So there's I think she actually goes and kills the people that she kills the assassins that killed her family, basically, and then she goes and kills the mob, the Yakuza that had that.
What was her name? I
forgot.
Oren. Yeah,
Lucy Liu's character. So
that was great. That anime sequence was so good.
Yes, I was like that. Like, I remember seeing it for the first time. I think I was in college or something. It was summer before going into college, or maybe it was the year after. Actually, no, I think I saw it the year after before, because my buddy wanted to see Volume 2. Mm-hmm. So I went and got Volume 1, and I watched it. I was like, holy shit, this is so violent. Like, this is the most violent thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And this is before I saw like all those ultra violent, old Japanese Edo era films. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with like Lone Wolf and Cub.
I know the trope. I know the concept. Yeah.
They basically copied the Mandalorian. Basically copied that. Baby Yoda's like the little boy and the thing. They literally stole a scene in the Mandalorian where Luke gives little Baby Yoda a choice: the lightsaber or the helmet. While in Lone Wolf and Cub, the samurai, or the I forget what they call him. He's basically an assassin. or not an assassin.
Ronin?
He's a Ronin. He's an executioner turned Ronin because he
okay.
got ruined by it was some political backstabbing, and so they're
Yeah,
all out to kill him now. So he's a Ronin, and he's like, well, I'm going to be paving the way of hell. I don't know, it's a Buddhist thing or something. So they're going to be walking the way of, they're going to become demons and all that. And so his son's like 2 years old, 1 or 2 years old. He's just crawling. He's just, he's barely a toddler. And he's giving his son a choice. He's like, you could take the beach ball, join your mother in the afterlife. So, which means he's going to kill him.
Whoa.
Or you can go, take the sword and you will join me on my life of hell, basically. And he goes and he chooses the sword. Whereas frickin' Baby Yoda, instead of going with Luke or fake Luke, chooses the Mandalorian, because we got to have more Mandalorian Baby Yoda adventures.
I was never seduced by that show, and I was getting really irritated when people were telling me how great it was. Like I'll tell you, at first, episode 1 was really promising. I liked a lot of what they were doing there. I thought it was very cool, and they were doing things that I always wanted to see. It was like, oh, okay, like what they should have done in the sequel trilogy. There's a power vacuum now, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be interesting to explore what would happen there? Like, how in Russia, after the USSR fell, now there's like this giant power vacuum, and all these gangsters and warlords and stuff like that start popping up. Like, that would be really interesting.
Yeah,
they're retarded and gay, so they can't do that. But it seemed like they were kind of doing that, and then they're just like, it was the laziest writing, and it was just new rehashed bullshit. I never the first run, before I was even online watching like this type of content, like I was out, like I didn't even finish season 1 of The Mandalorian. I was like, this is stupid. This lost me a long time ago.
Yeah, once I was out after, so I watched up to season 2. I was just getting really, I was getting kind of bored with season 1, but then I liked the last 2 episodes. I actually really liked of season 1. And then season 2 came, and I'm like,
oh, it got better. That was when they had like the shootout and like the thing with the Darksaber was introduced, and
that was the and then they were going through the desert, and then there were these creatures that were like, abducting people. It was that was episode 7. And what's his name? The one that's like, this was the way, or was no, not this is the way. I have spoken. I have spoken guy.
Yeah, that guy was good.
He got. I was just that was one cool time I was like, I was invested.
Well, that's the thing. They had a bunch of good moments, but just like the fucking sequel trilogy, they didn't have a roadmap. Like they didn't write the thing. That's the thing that I find so frustrating about these shows. Is it's like, you got to know what you're writing. Like, not everything can be J.J. Abrams, where we just sort of figure it out on the fly and we'll get there or we won't, or who cares because we already got their money. It's like, you have to tell a story. That's why I always, even though I'm not the biggest Breaking Bad fan, I always respected that Vince Gilligan had a plan. He had a 5-season arc, and he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, and he had a certain director, make some pretty good episodes. Ryan Johnson.
Certain Ryan Johnson. He made the least liked episode of the entire show.
And I didn't think it was a bad. Some people say, I didn't think it was a bad episode, to be honest. It was a very good character building, moment for Walter and Jesse, basically.
I was surprised. Been a fan. I don't like bottle episodes. It has nothing to do with Ryan Johnson. I just don't like that concept.
Okay, you'll hate Star Trek then. There's a lot of bottle episodes.
Yeah, but there's also, I mean, they were making how many episodes a season back then? Like, it's different. Like, that's real 26. TV. Yeah, that's real TV. You have to come up with some kind of way to get out of it, because it's like you got pumping out 26 shows a year. That's a lot. Whereas this is only 10 episodes a year. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, and some of the best episodes of especially Star Trek: The Next Generation were bottle episodes. Like, they didn't have battles and all that. Like, I was just on my friend Mike's Pacific 414's channel, and we were talking about a 2-parter called Chain of Command. And the only thing that resembled action was Picard being tortured by a Cardassian, basically. And it was basically a 1984 style of, how many lights are there? There's 4 lights. No, there are 5. And then he hits the zapper, to get him to, deny his own reality and all that. So,
yeah.
Obviously 1984 reference. Babylon 5, I think, did it better, because there's a whole episode where it's just the captain and the interrogator, just like, and it becomes like a psychological mind game the entire episode. It was crazy. Whereas Star Trek's version, it cuts to a B plot, which follows, you know, the Enterprise under a different captain, all that, but still. But what was I? What were we talking about? What were we talking about? I kind of lost track of the conversation.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of different subjects now. Okay, so I've never really been a big Star Trek guy, to be completely transparent. I've watched some stuff. It's not for me. It's not that I find any flaws with it, but you know how you just don't connect with things. It's just sort of it's always how I was with Star Trek. But so
have you ever seen the Wrath of Khan?
I have seen the Wrath of Khan. Yeah. And I yeah. It's like I respect it, but like what you know what I mean? It's just not for me. It's not that I have any criticisms of it or because it's very well written. And it's such an intelligent thing that director did to take that one guy from that one episode and develop him into such a robust villain with a valid reason to like want to kick their ass. Very smart, you know. I really like it's just not for me. But so back in like 2009, how did you feel about Abrams' Trek? Like when it first got rebooted, how did you feel about that one?
I mean, I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I had some issues with it. It was very different. It was very different from what, you know, it was very different. And you know how I feel now? I can't watch those. They haven't aged well with me. Like,
no.
Like to me, like, I mean, it's basically mindless action schlock at this point. But back then when I was graduating college, I was, you know, I thought there was going to be a future. I thought it was going to get more intelligent. I thought it was going to get better, and it didn't get better.
No,
it got worse. And then Alex Kurtzman,
very stupid, unfortunately. Like you said, they throw a lot at you, and it feels fun, and it is. But if you think about any of it, the whole thing falls apart.
Well, they tried to create a moment where you're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? You know, because they literally jump out of warp in the middle of a battle. Mm-hmm. Like no one with a brain would ever do that. That's why they never did it in earlier Trek.
Right.
Because and they weren't stupid.
And in that, they go over like the complexities of like the warping and stuff like that with Scotty, right? Like they give him like this whole, you know, so they talk about the intricacies of it, and yet then they just watch them do something stupid like that. There's so many things that like are in that thing. Whereas if you stop, like, okay, so he banishes him, Spock banishes Kirk to that planet, right? And then immediately there's a big snow monster, you know, and it's just like just to keep it going.
That's a very Star Wars type of thing. You don't see William Shatner's Kirk running around all over the place. So you see Chris Pine's Kirk running away from things all the time. You never saw William Shatner's Kirk do that because Captain Kirk, Admiral Kirk, doesn't do that.
Right.
So I'm at the point now where I don't even consider. I mean, I think the Kirk that's in the new Strange New World show, which I won't watch because it's crap. Mm-hmm. They really try to capture you with the member berries, but they can't even try to be true to what the original to the, you know, continuity of the original series. And because of that, I just can't get into it. And the way the first episode where a certain January 6th was the cause of World War III in this altered timeline, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like,
these people. I was listening. Do you know who Shane Gillis, the comedian, is?
Yes.
I was listening to his podcast, and I guess he was watching some Mussolini show, and I think it's an Italian-made show. And when it's all over at the end, the guy Mussolini goes, "All right, let's make Italy great again."
So you want to know what I downloaded? I haven't read it. I haven't finished it yet, but I downloaded it's basically Mussolini's treatise on fascism, and it's very philosophical. It's a very smart read and all that. So
that's interesting. I was just listening to one of Hitler's speeches last night.
Which one?
Some factory speech.
Okay.
I don't know. I just Googled it because I'd never listened to any of those. And I was like, oh, not that they translate them on AI. I kind of want to hear what he was saying. And it was, you know, people are like, oh, they're pretty good. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, this is fine. Like, it's not, it just sounds like a traditional political speech. It didn't seem like all that, like, revolutionary. Obviously the crowd liked it, but it's just.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how, I mean, Hitler, that's the one thing like Hitler really wanted to do. Like he watched how how the best he learned. He took the time to learn how to, he learned rhetoric. He learned how to, grab people through powerful speeches, and that's part of the reason why he became the Führer.
Now, Brian, I want to make sure you disavow him, and you say that you hate him, and
you
you
have
hate
to,
everything about him.
You have to give me the
Mussolini.
opportunity. You have to give me the opportunity too, like a certain Sydney.
You can't talk about him until you say how bad he always was.
Okay, so Nazis are bad.
Okay, good.
Austrian,
I was texting Ben Shapiro, but
all Austrian painters are bad.
No wonder these
Benito.
kids like to troll these people, because there is that just lurking around. It's like you just want to rebel against that and just say it, to say it.
Benito Mussolini is bad.
He was bad.
He was bad. Well, he was bad to the point where his own people got him.
I was watching SAS Rogue Heroes. Have you seen that?
No.
It's a recommendation from Zach's, and it's on the MGM network, which I didn't even know.
I have that. I have MGM Plus.
Oh yeah,
that's how I watched Dressed to Kill yesterday.
Oh well, perfect. So it's very stylized. Like it's more like a rock and roll kind of take on World War II. It's not as somber, but it's fun. It's a really fun watch. It takes a little getting used to, but it's fun, and it's kind of more like upbeat, and but it's good. It takes place in
I saw Phantom of the Paradise. I'm sure I'll be fine with that.
Yeah. It was a bit of an adjustment, because it's not like Band of Brothers where it's like they're playing the solo drums and the horns, and it's like they're playing AC/DC, and it's just like, oh, okay, so this is just they're literally playing AC/DC. Like the guy, it's Stephen Knight who did Peaky Blinders.
Didn't he also do Daredevil, right? Season 1?
Did he?
I
don't know.
So.
I'm not now. I don't know.
Maybe think of someone else.
I don't think he did, but I'm not sure. But I know he did a movie with Tom Hardy called Locke, which was really unique and interesting. But it's a cool show. So it takes place, a lot of it starts off in North Africa, and then they go to Italy like in season 2. So that's like,
what was it called again? SAS Rogue?
SAS Rogue Heroes, I think.
Rogue Heroes. Sorry.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah, it's good. It's got the guy from the Irish vampire from Sinners is like one of the leads.
Oh,
yeah, he's great.
Does he sing? He sings, right?
He does not sing. No, he drinks and kicks ass a lot.
Oh, dang it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of going to go off on a quick tangent. I was watching Sinners on my flight to I went to Portland this year. Whoa. I actually got to see Portland. The place was gross. There was probably vomit stains everywhere. And the people that were my age were probably overweight, probably had billions of piercings and billions of tattoos. It was just and they did not look happy. Like they looked like I was tempted to say Hail Trump.
I know, right? I heard these people. I was leaving the gym today, and I heard these people say like, "Oh, rip, rest in peace, OG Twitter." And I just looked at them and just kind of laughed and smirked. I was like, "You fucking live."
Hey, there's a place that's like OG Twitter. It's called Blue Sky. Ever heard of Blue Sky?
You can go there with all your other irrelevant liberal retards. No, I was actually.
We celebrate conservative stuff.
Yeah, we have our rules and no hate speech. But
we gotta be kind. But we expect you to be kind to us.
Be kind to us. Worship us. I was in Seattle earlier this year because a good friend of mine who used to live here in Austin moved to Seattle. And so I went to visit him. And dude, so many of the stereotypes. I mean, it was the pride flags were like Nazi Germany banners. They were everywhere on everything. It was crazy. Like it was like lamb's blood on Passover, man. It was like you better do it, because otherwise, they're coming to get you. It was crazy. Like he had to work like 1 or 2 days, so like I got a day pass at this gym. I'm not making any of this up, by the way. So on the waiver, it said, in the middle of it, it said you still have to be fully vaccinated and boosted to work out here in 2025. This was this year. I was like, Okay, well,
I had to show.
spoiler alert, I'm not vaccinated.
The trip I went to actually meet you and the meetup there. So I went to 2021. This was in Vegas.
Yeah.
That was the one time I had in order to get to that because I went to that Star Trek convention.
Yeah,
I had to show them. I had to wear a mask, and I had to show them my vaccination card.
Yeah.
And like I was at the point where I just didn't want to wear the mask. So I had it like up to here.
I know.
I had the mask up to here, and there was this guy in a wheelchair. Is like, put your mask back on. I'm like, no.
I think you told me this at the
did.
meetup because I remember this
did.
story. I do. This sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, and the guy was like in a wheelchair. He's trying to bully me, and I was like, no, and I walked away. And it was a big enough room, so it was big enough room. Yeah, exactly.
So on this waiver, it says you had to be fully up to date with your vaccines, and then it said like there's this little paragraph like we're so glad to have you. Thank you for joining and being a part of our gym. Black Lives Matter, and then you have to sign your name underneath that. I was just like, this is insane. Guys, this is insane. And then you go into the gym and it's like there's a giant pride flag mural. There's just pride flags and all the little planters. There's like a lesbian flag, which I didn't even know was a thing. That's there. Trans flags.
Well, there's like a billion. There's like a billion different flags. There's like a flag for each. What do you call it? Condition?
Yeah.
Orientation.
I think condition is better. I think that's more apt. That's actually more precise. But the thing that sucked is it was actually a great gym. Like it had like 3 different floors, all the equipment you could ever want. I was like, I would actually, if I lived here, even with all the gay shit, I'd probably still go to this gym because it was that good. But it was so ridiculous. I was like, you guys are a parody of yourselves.
Yeah. That's freaking crazy.
I don't want to wear the pin. I don't want to wear the pin.
I don't want to wear the pin. Yeah. I don't want to be a pirate. We're so Star Trek is one thing I often reference, but I also reference Seinfeld quite a bit. So like
sure.
we had at work we had Indian today. We had Indian food, and mun was one of the things. So I'm like telling them, I know where I first heard mun when I was a kid. Seinfeld. When Jerry's girlfriend's making him mun and he hates and he spits it out. He spits it out, mutton. Puts it in the pot. Yeah, mun.
Yeah. You say that so fast. I thought you said mun. I was like, what the hell is mun? Yeah.
Mun. It's a gay word. No,
I didn't know. I was like, I don't know what mun is. Maybe it's some Asian dish. I'm not crazy about mutton either. I don't like that. Yeah, I'm not really a lamb guy. I used to work at a Greek restaurant. We had to eat a lot of lamb, and it's sort of ruined it for me. It's too that flavor. There's something about that flavor I don't like.
So you couldn't eat like a gyro or anything like that.
That I can do. Like the shawarma, I can do. There's something different about that for some reason to me. Like
probably the tzatziki sauce. You got the
probably
cucumber sauce.
That
makes then the flatbread and it makes.
I love those. I love gyro. They're really really good.
Yeah,
those are awesome. Shit, I wanted to ask you something. You said something about. I wanted to ask you. So you're a big Star Trek guy. Have you ever watched The Expanse?
I have. I have watched all the way up to episode 4 of the final season, and I just stopped and I didn't watch the last 2 episodes.
There's nothing to see. I mean, it was just it was a very predictable wrap up. They because they spent like season 5 trying to pretend like somehow like Marco was like a good guy, like he was like some like hero for the people, and it was like you're taking this too far. Like it's one thing to make him like a sympathetic villain, but he murdered millions of people on Earth. Like he's not a good guy.
Yeah, they took an idea from Gundam, and by forcing asteroids to cause nuclear winters and all that. So
it was a clever idea. It was cool. Yeah. And it was like when that season began, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. This is going to be the best season ever. But it came out in 2021 and, we just lived through 2020 and all the social justice. So they started to tweak it. They started to change it. They cut out a lot of steam.
Then, and what's his name? The actor that played Alex was canceled.
Yeah, he was canceled with no charges. They did an internal investigation, never revealed the results of it, just fired him, which is like, okay, whatever. You got to do it. That's fine with me. Why'd you have to kill him? Like, why? Yeah. It's not like you got him. He's in the season.
Because it felt like they completely cut like the Mars arc. There was like a Mars arc that I think was in the book. I haven't read the books, but
I haven't read that book, but I think I read the first 3.
but instead of seeing him, instead of seeing what was the main character's name again? Holden. He was barely in. He was barely
it's
in
all
that.
about fucking
barely
Naomi.
in that 50, yeah, Naomi was
the whole time, over and over, and just this overwrought, like dramatic acting that she was not suited for. And you could tell these scenes were hastily written. And I noticed it because it was something Gary used to say all the time when he'd say feelings in hallways. And that's what these scenes were. They were feelings in fucking spaceships. And I was like, this sucks. Like, it was so frustrating. You could tell these were hasty reshoots because they were, just 1 or 2 actors, like, and the camera would just kind of wobble back and forth. I was like, this sucks so much. And, they got the social justice bug, like everything else that happened around that time. And I thought The Expanse was going to be immune to it because they were already woke, right? Like, they're already like, oh, the government of the UN runs the world and it's extremely diverse. So it's like, I thought it checked enough boxes, but no, they had to go all in and ruin that 5th season. And then the 6th season is 6 episodes, completely truncated.
And then there's 3 more books. Like, so, and there's 3 more books after that. So like the story is not over.
No, but I think what they do in the books is there's a giant time
gap. Yeah,
like 30 years or something. So it's almost kind of impossible to do like the way they want to do it. We are getting
without recasting the people,
or
aging them up.
No one wants that. So I wouldn't have minded it if they stuck the landing, but it was like they just didn't. And it's almost, to me, I was saying, because it was like, I know that Gary was a big part of like the campaign to save The Expanse, but I almost kind of looking like maybe it just should have not been saved. And it should have just been this, like, Firefly, right? Like that, just one perfect season, just like 3 perfect seasons, the best sci-fi ever. And then, we always just what could have been, right?
I don't know how I actually didn't mind season 4. I
didn't mind it either, but I didn't love it. So I would have absolutely sacrificed it if it meant the fact that the rest of the show kind of stinks.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed that Amazon really did a lot of cost cutting for this.
Yes.
Like it seemed like when it was on Sci-Fi, like there was a lot more budget and there was a lot.
And it didn't feel like the same show to me. It felt like the continuing adventures of The Expanse, where it's like at the end of season 3, right? You have that tremendous ending where you find out what the proto-molecule was for, and the Stargate opens, and you see all, and you're like, oh my God, like this is so interesting. But then they just like, they kind of blow past a lot of the details that I would want to know. Like, where the fuck are they in the universe? Are they in our own solar system? Are they in a different solar system?
So I forget. Like, it's been a while since I watched it. So there's different gates that open up, and they go, and then they take you to different parts of the galaxy, the universe.
I don't know, somewhere, some other star system. They never get into where.
And and the planet that they're on in season 4 is one example, right?
Yes. And the thing about them is all of them are habitable. Like every planet on the other side of those ring gates is a habitable planet in the Goldilocks zone. So it was just like, we just got rocketed. Like,
wasn't gravity an issue on the season? If I remember correctly, the gravity was
an issue, but only because the Belters.
So like Naomi,
because they grew up in low G.
Yeah.
So they couldn't, they had to take like bone density drugs, and it was like really painful, which all of that is like, that's the type of stuff I love about that show, is they take like scientific realities, instead of just ignoring them, they incorporate them into the show to ratchet up the drama.
Yeah, because I mean, if you had people that were born and grew up in space, it'd be a very different experience. Like they wouldn't have the strength of someone that has grow up in normal Earth gravity, or heck, maybe slightly or another place that might have slightly stronger gravity.
Well, they even
then you become like Vegeta. You're just doing push-ups and like 5 times gravity, 20 times.
Well,
gravity.
yeah. That was one of the things. Like that's why what's her name was so big and strong. Bobby. Is because she grew up on Mars, you know what I mean? So they have a lower gravity, so she could get taller. They could still like they would be bigger, right? Because it's like, you don't have the restrictions of gravity, so your body gets bigger and you can like acquire more muscle. I think was like the conceit. I don't know how scientifically accurate that is, but I think that was the idea behind it. But they would do things like the planet Ganymede, right? It has a magnetosphere, which is rare outside of like a few different planets. And so they would have people go there from the belt to gestate. And you're like, this is just so smart. Like, these are just such smart concepts that they would like take those realities, and instead of trying to fight the tide about like, well, we're not going to worry about that, or this is it, they get to the other side. Like they embrace these challenges, and all it does is enrich the world. It makes you feel so much more like, what's the word? Like transported. You like living in the world of the Expanse when you watch.
Yeah.
Season 1. I think it was really just, it was only a few.
It was the first scene where they're like torturing. What's her name? What's her name? Avasarala is like torturing that guy. He was really like
really
skinny,
tall and lanky.
Like Wemby level.
Yeah.
Skinny.
And then there was the prostitute that the guy Havelock, the cop, falls in love with, or kind of falls in love with. She's like teaching him how to like speak Belter, if you remember. She was really tall and skinny too. But I think what they ended up realizing was like, this is going to be such a logistical challenge. We could only hire tall, lanky actors. Like, how many tall, lanky actors are there? We're going to have to just
not that many.
You got to be there's only certain limitations. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, gravity is a real thing.
I mean, like the new Game of Thrones, Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, Sir Duncan the Tall, the main character, is a 7-footer. I don't think there's any 7-foot actors available that can lead a show. I mean, there was an actor that played the Mountain in like season 2, but he wasn't like a leading actor.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And even Hapfor, who played the Mountain in the rest of the show.
Yeah.
He's only like 6'8".
And he's just a specimen. He's not like a leading type. And that guy who plays in Reacher, he's only I think he's like 6'4". They make him look like he's huge, but I think he's only like 6'2".
I thought it was like 6'2" or 6'3".
Yeah, I don't think he's gigantic. Yeah, you're right. That's actually a huge challenge. I never thought about that, but you're right. Like, because it would almost be because a leading man. How could you have a leading man who towers over his leading lady in every scene? It'd be distracting.
Yeah, I mean the main character of the Wheel of Time, Randall Thor, is supposed to be 6'6", and they couldn't find they found it. I mean, they did find tall actors to play to play him, but not at that level. So I mean,
and it's like
there's just not that many people.
They're just not.
It's like what 99.8% of the
population.
Like 0.02% of the population are that tall.
And so they also have to be naturally talented or naturally gifted and be pursuing that career, which is like a crazy gamble to do. Trust me, I did it for 15 years. It was nuts. So it's like, and Jay's saying he worked with an actor, and it's just like, he might be, but there's a difference between being good and being a lead. Leads carry the show. You have to be with them for every scene and empathize with them. And I've seen great actors lead things, and you can see why they're not the right pick for that. Like, do you know who Philip Baker Hall is?
Yes.
He leads a movie called
He's the library cop from Seinfeld.
That's right.
What do you think this is? Some joke?
Yeah, punk like you. Yeah, he's fantastic. He's a great actor, but he led the movie Hard 8, and you could start to see the cracks. Certain guys are great to fit in a role, like to do a certain thing in a movie, but when you're there for 2 hours, is a certain, I don't know what it is. It's a special type of actor who can lead something. It's not everybody, unfortunately.
I mean, you got to have presence. You have to have charisma. You have to be able to, project. You have to be able to project yourself to the audience, and the audience has to either like you or not like you or something.
Yeah. So. And you got to be the type of actor who can tell the story on your face, and that's not everybody, and that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not easy, it's a whole other skill set.
Yeah, that's why I think Philip Baker Hall and a lot of this, I like to call them Star Trek guest actors and TV guest actors. They're character actors basically.
Yeah. And there's some that are just great. Like I remember there's this guy did you ever see Preacher?
Yes, the first I saw up to season. I watched the first 2 seasons. I watched, I think maybe an episode or 2 in the 3rd season. And I like Walking Dead. I DNF'd that one.
I literally, I think I had the exact same thing. Like, she dies or something, and then like they're in that house in the South or whatever, in like the bayou. I just lost interest, but I hated what's her face, Ruth
Tulip.
Nega.
Tulip, yeah.
She's horrible. Like, and I wasn't even so upset at like the race casting or whatever. It's like it's annoying, especially because like the girl in the comic books is like this big buxom blonde with big blonde hair, so it's like that's annoying. But she just was so naggy and antagonistic to him the entire show. And you're like, why do you love this girl? She sucks. Like in the comic book, she's mad at him in the beginning. But she eventually gets over it, and then they're just Bonnie and Clyde again. But they never get to that Bonnie and Clyde moment. So she's like so distracting. And there were so many good concepts in that story. And it was actually fairly well executed in the beginning. But the reason I brought it up, was I think it was season 2 when they're in New Orleans and they're trying to cast God. They were making some movie. I forgot they were trying. It was like some actor, and they were casting God. I forgot what the conceit of the story was. It's been a while, but there was this small time talent agent in the New Orleans, and he's like this Asian guy, and he was the best. He was so good. He just had this whole like shtick, Teddy K, and he had this whole way of talking about himself. Like he was like, Mr. Hollywood, but for New Orleans. Like, I'm the guy. You talk to me. He lit up the screen, man. He was so great. And it's like those guys who just come along and they're just like, they just do that little thing and they're just brilliant. I love actors like that.
Yeah. Versus, an actor that has to, like you said, carry like a movie or carry or an entire series, and be in like almost every scene. Nowadays it just doesn't seem like a problem because it seems like main characters are like are guests in their own show, or they're side characters in their own show. Like Picard is a good example. Another show that recently came out, I think it's called
The Witcher.
The Witch Her.
Yeah.
Like
it's true.
Like, isn't Geralt like a character? Like isn't he like he's a side character in The Witcher, right?
It's just crazy the audacity of these women to just come into these properties and absolutely destroy them. And like I just don't know what result they think they're gonna get. Like, if you had that kind of hubris, like for a little while, that's one thing. But the results are in. It's universally rejected. Rings of Power, Star Trek, Star Wars, Wheel of Time, Doctor Who, The Witcher, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. We're not into it. We're never going to be into it. So it's like, you think you can just drag our favorite characters through the mud and we'll just like put up with it. It's like, I'd love to see those numbers, man. I'd love to see your viewing figures, because I bet, my analytics are more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I've just stopped caring. Like, I don't like. They're making what is it, Mandalorian Grogu?
I know, that's right. They're making that movie,
and they're making a Water World style Star Wars or something with Ryan Gosling.
I do love Ryan Gosling. He's like my favorite actor, one of them. So it's like, I hate to see him attached to it. He's brilliant. I'm hoping maybe on some off chance it's possible that the script is fantastic. But
what's your favorite? Okay, then I gotta ask you, what's your favorite Ryan Gosling performance?
It's a great question. He's just one of those guys. He just works. He's such a good worker. But he did this movie years ago, which is kind of saccharine. It's not normally the type of movie that you'd think I would enjoy, but I love it. It's called Lars and the Real Girl.
Lars and the Real Girl?
Lars and the Real Girl. It's a small town movie about this. I guess he's supposed to be severely autistic or something. And they don't really ever tell you.
Like Leonardo DiCaprio. Well, actually, no, Leonardo DiCaprio and What's Eating Gilbert Grape wasn't he retarded?
Yeah, he's not retarded. He just has like, I think his dad died and he was very traumatized, and he's sort of an odd outsider kind of character, but he's really sweet. I think Ryan Gosling's fantastic, but he's really sweet, basically. And he works in this this small town. I forget where he works, like for the town or something like that. And there's this girl in the office that clearly really likes him, but he doesn't have like any of the ability to like talk to her. So he ends up ordering like a sex doll, like one of those real girl dolls, but it's not like, he ends up treating her like she's real, and like kind of, like talks about her like she's real with everybody, and everyone thinks that he's just completely lost his fucking mind. But they eventually kind of start to go with it because it's like part of his, I don't know, trauma healing. It all sounds really gay, but it's great. It's really sweet. No, I look. Ryan Gosling is fan. He's such a good actor. Like he's definitely been in some stuff that's like annoying, like fucking Blade Runner. You know, the sequel. I
2049.
understand that.
Yeah, he must like. I think Red Letter Media made like a little skit making fun of his acting because they were just like every scene was just him looking down.
Yeah, I mean it's a terrible movie, but that's not really. I mean, I guess it's kind of his fault, but you know, he was in that. He was in Drive. He was really strong in that. Like he was in. There's a lot of dumb stuff. Like I didn't really care for The Nice Guys, but like he's in Only God Forgives, which is this Danish film by the same director as Drive, and it's really weird and esoteric. But he's
Are you a Notebook guy?
No, I don't like over. I'd never even seen it. Like I don't care. Like stuff like that. What's that guy's name? He makes like the same movie every time, and it's all there just to get your chick to cry. I'm not into it. Ides of March was a good movie that he was in. He was much better, 10, 15 years ago. At least the movies. Half Nelson was the movie that he was in. That was really good. United States of Leland was like a small indie film that he was in. Of course, Remember the Titans.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he was in it.
Yeah,
he was in that. I actually watched that not too long ago. Great movie.
Like
Denzel elevates everything.
He's the best part of Barbie.
I have not seen Barbie.
Don't see it.
Don't you have to watch it like back to back with? Don't you have to watch it back to back with Oppenheimer?
Yeah, right. Barbenheimer. Yeah, no, the movie I think is genuinely evil. Like I'm not just saying that. Like they literally at the end of the movie, the girls have a violent, like a coup essentially, where they overthrow an elected leader. Because like once the men vote, they vote for a Ken, and women they're not having that. So they literally have a coup, and that's supposed to be a good message, is to overthrow a democratically elected like leader that you don't like. Do you see any parallels? Maybe. Duh. They're so fucking stupid, but he's great at it. He's really funny. Like it's an evil film, but he is genuinely hilarious at it. You know what's very funny about my relationship with Barbie? So, do you know Senjin Dildo from like the chat? So, I forgot how. I don't remember. I was in one of my chats, and we've talked about like these obscure like art films and like Lars von Trier and stuff like these things because he's like European, right? So he's got like a little bit more of a refined art palette.
Yeah.
And he goes, Matt, look, don't believe the hype. Honest to God, it's not going to be everything you love, but that woman can really direct a movie. And I was just like, huh. All right. Well, if Senjin Dildo says so. So I watched it. And it was the most evil, horrible piece of shit thing I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, what the fuck? And I didn't have like a stream. I just went on my buddy Vidge, and Dildo's usually lurking in his chat. And I went in the chat and I was like, Senjin Dildo, what the fuck? I watched Barbie. What the fuck? And he's just dying laughing. Just completely set me up. He's like, I never even saw it.
Wow.
Just got me, dude. Got me so good. I was like, you piece of shit. I sat there and I watched this monstrous piece of like evil, sadistic propaganda. And at the end, you never even saw it. You dick.
Honestly, really I did not know American Psycho was directed. Was female directed. I forget who directed that one.
I don't know.
Well,
Ogre Squasher. Holy shit. What up, dog? How you doing, brother? I haven't seen you in a minute, man. Is he lurking in your chats a lot?
No.
Oh, Ogre Squasher is the man, dude. He used to make it rain on me and Vidge back in the day, dude. He was the most generous. I get embarrassed. It was so generous. He's seriously, he's such a nice guy. Like I was.
Yeah, welcome, buddy.
Fucking hey, brother. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Yeah. So we're all catching up here. So
yeah. I am curious about who directed American Psycho. I don't.
Shanatsky says it's Mary Harron. I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
Let me see. Mary. I'm gonna look it up. Mary. I dropped my pen.
She's directed nothing else I've ever seen or heard of.
Canadian. She directed Dailyland, Charlie Says, I Shot Andy Warhol in 1996, The Moth Diaries from 2011, Still Ticking, The Return of a Clockwork Orange, The Anna Nicole Story, This film is not yet rated.
That's
And
crazy.
it's
She
not-
directed like that in that lineup of shit no one's ever heard of or seen.
Yeah.
Right in the middle is Psycho, American Psycho.
Psycho, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
now I gotta go
no.
return. Now, excuse me, I gotta go return some videotapes. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Oh, I was like, oh, seriously? It's like, all right. Hey,
No.
Chad, what's going on?
Yeah, I got like we still have some VHSs. I got rid of all mine. Because I have to be up to date. I have to have my 4Ks. So
Yeah, I mean VHS. Like there was a moment there where people were kind of collecting them out of nostalgia, but like it's just an incredibly dated technology. It's not. It doesn't even have like any kind of like appeal, like a record. Like at least a record still produces like acceptable sound. Like VHS is like they're chopped, right? Like their perspective's all wrong.
people want their 240 resolution.
Yeah, the
there's
resolutions.
lines, the
Yeah.
squiggly lines across
Yeah.
the
So
screen
bad.
to the point where you have to play with the adjusting tracker in order to get it to stop. Your VCR's rewinder doesn't work, so you have
Yeah.
to put the tape in a separate
And
rewinder.
a separate rewinder. We
Yep,
had one that was
we
like a
had
race car.
Yep.
And it was like, yeah, we had that too, a rewinder. Yeah. Or when you'd hate when you'd rent a movie and some that son of a bitch didn't rewind it, and you're like, you bastard.
Now you got what didn't Blockbuster like charge like a fee if you didn't rewind?
I think
or
so.
something?
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
charge
yeah,
like
yeah.
a few dollars or something.
Remember, it was like Be Kind Rewind. That was like they made
Yeah.
a movie with that. That was like the thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That was a Jack Black movie. I never saw that one.
Still have VHS versions of the movies. They're unavailable on DVD or Blu-ray. Well, like Star Wars.
I mean, I still have my VHSs at my grandma's house. Like they're in a box somewhere. It's like for what reason I don't know, but I have them. Like, you know, the re-release of Star Wars, like The Mummy, The Matrix, you know, like a bunch of other shit.
Did you hear about the Mummies? So they're making a fourth Mummy. They're bringing back Rachel Weisz and Brendan Fraser.
I know.
And they're gonna ignore movie 3, which I still have not seen. The one
I didn't even know there was a third one.
There was like the Mummy and the Emperor's Tomb or something like that, with Jet Li was the bad guy. So I'm guessing they're probably going to bring back. They're probably going to bring back everybody because we still have not escaped that age of nostalgia where we just have to keep bringing either rebooting or bringing old actors back from like the 80s or 90s. So I'm assuming Arnold Vosloo is going to come back as Imhotep.
Imhotep.
I was gonna say Marwan because he was the villain in season 4 of 24. I forgot that's not the same character. That's not the same character. So.
They don't all look alike, Brian. No, but the thing. Okay, here's the thing about all these fucking nostalgia reboots. It is partially that they're just exploiting nostalgia, and a lot of times they do make money. It's just a cash grab. But the real thing that's going on here is these idiots won't take the real lesson. And the real lesson is, so they see their streaming numbers, right? They're like, man, look at all these views on The Mummy. There's still so much interest in this property. And so we should milk it. It's like, no, you should go back to making movies the way you did 20 years ago. Yes. That's the lesson you should fucking take, but they never do. And that's why we have another Predator movie, because despite, you know, like people, them forcing garbage down our throat, people go back and watch the original Predator. They watch Predator 2 and they see all these numbers and they're like, oh, people are still interested in this property. That's why we keep getting Aliens shit, because someone watches the Aliens a million times and it always does well on whatever streaming service it's on, because those were good movies.
Yeah. First two are excellent.
It's insane. It's insanity the way they just won't take the right lesson. It's just, it's repulsive, brother.
Yeah, they just make excuses in their heads and all that. So, did you see Alien? Did you see Alien Romulus, by the way?
No, I had no interest. I started watching Mahler's review on it, and then it was like I got to a certain point, and I was like, yeah, no, I know it sucks. I don't need this breakdown. Like, it was nothing against him. I was just like, yeah, like what? Okay, I believe it stinks, you know.
I mean, like, these type of movies now are turning into like video game like movies. Like they're just it's like watching a video game instead of watching a movie. Like there's a moment in Alien Romulus where the chick is like the gravity is gone off the ship, and there's nothing but like, the yellow acid, the acid for blood that the alien has. Well, there's acid floating around all over this massive corridor, and she has to navigate through it. That's like a freaking video game. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And then of course the other big thing, and this was the movie I saw recently, was Tron Ares. I mean, if you've seen,
you saw that.
I saw that. My buddy Angry Canadian's a big Tron fan, big Tron Legacy fan. I saw Tron Legacy for the first time when I went to Japan. So I was curious how this Tron Ares was. Well, I should have known better. It's a Jared Leto film. So you know what that means? That means the film is they hire him to kill kill him to kill a
He's
franchise.
the executioner.
He basically is like, I mean, like the first time I saw Jared Leto on something, I didn't even realize it was him. But he put on like 60, 70 pounds to play John Lennon's killer in a John Hinckley. Mark David Chapman. So he plays Mark David Chapman. So it's basically it's a movie about the killing of John Lennon. I think the movie's called The Killing of John Lennon. He plays the killer and all that. And so like, well, okay, so he kills John Lennon. So then every movie he's been after that, he's there to, like, if it's a franchise film, it's gone. Suicide Squad, gone.
Yeah. He played the gay guy in Dallas Buyers Club, if you remember that film.
I didn't see that one. Is that the one? Who's in it?
Matthew McConaughey. It's not worth seeing. It's just one of those movies that, like, it's AIDS, so obviously it's going to do well. But it was right at the beginning of McConaughey's renaissance, like right before he did True Detective. So it was like he was kind of ascendance when he started to do good. But I remember Jared Leto being a really good actor in that. Probably a little bit more true.
I saw with
character.
I did see recently, someone recommended it. I saw, and this movie was so sad. It was so messed up. Requiem for a Dream.
Oh right, yeah, Requiem for a Dream.
I saw Requiem. I saw that movie. I hated his character because his character is a complete piece of shit.
Yeah.
It was his mother. It was Ellen Burstyn's character. Yeah. That was the one that made me really sad, because I was like,
the bummer.
It's that movie's because a lot of elderly people are like elderly women are by themselves or alone.
Yeah, I know.
And they don't. I mean, they have friends, but they like their kids don't see them, and then she was alone and she didn't know better, and she took all those pills, and then she became an addict.
It's so
sad. And she ended up going into a insane asylum, and then they did to her what they did to Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, electric shock therapy.
Yeah. And he's in some jail in like Florida or whatever, and like gets his arm cut off because he had got necrotic from all the heroin use. I didn't feel sorry for that. None of the younger characters I did not feel sorry for at all. I thought they were all they were criminals. It's almost like grimdark for drama.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Where everyone's bad, the whole thing sucks.
And like what was so messed up was we would see like the inside, we would see what they're thinking. So we would see what like Ellen Burstyn was saying. Like she was thinking about herself. Like she wanted to lose the weight so she could be on that game show, and so she took those pills, and she imagined herself being on the show. It was one of the saddest things.
And his girlfriend, going down that prostitute road. And that's brutal. Like the whole movie is so relentless. It's funny.
That's what drug addiction will get you. So,
yeah, I guess that's like the message. But movies like that, I don't know. Like, when I was younger and I was like an actor, I would watch like everything, especially things that were like award movies. A lot of them would be really heavy, and I just don't want to do that anymore. Like, I just want to watch something entertaining. I don't really want it to be this feelings.
I remember you streaming. You were streaming, like you were showing some. You were in a movie. You were streaming. This was a few years ago. I forget how many movies have you been in. I'm just curious.
Not that many. I don't know, a handful. Like to call them movies is a loose. Like there's a lot of student projects and a lot of just like shorts and stuff. Like I don't know. I did dozens of them over the years. I couldn't possibly remember all of them, but it was I happened to have footage from some of them, so I was like. And the ones, I wouldn't show the good ones because what's the point in that? Like, wow, Matt, you did a great job. That's not funny. Like that's not entertaining. So yeah, I would try to find the worst ones. I was at the horror movie one, the Only Go There at Night. Was that the one?
Yeah, I think that was. Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
was a very, very well, very, very, very 2000s. Yeah, I
Low
miss those
budget
days.
doesn't even begin to describe what that was. I mean, that was so poorly. Everything was so bad about it. Like the script was okay. Like I was like, it wasn't good, but I was like, I could accept this. And it was like, at least the concept was at least the concept was good in the sense that it was like it was inspired by a magazine called Only, Weird New Jersey, and they have in the back as a place called Only Go There at Night. And so, that was the concept. But no, I mean the execution, like it couldn't have been worse. And the way they ran their set was so unprofessional. Like we would literally show up in the morning, shoot, and then have nothing to do for like 8 hours. And it was just like, dude, can you please? Yeah. It was like, can you please like adjust the schedule tomorrow so that we don't have to sit around all day? Like we literally went to like the park and played kickball. Like it wasn't like a
Kickball's always
production.
fun.
We had to do something.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a shoot in the way, like, movie shoots are like that. But this was not that. This was just them being terribly misorganized and not knowing how to shoot things. And oh God, that was such a fucking miserable
I think in
experience.
Halloween, like the actors helped the production. Like they helped the production, like move stuff.
Right. And we did that
stuff
too.
out.
We did that as well. I mean, on low budget indie stuff, everyone's doing everything. Like you just, you're all just trying to get it made, and I never wanted to be like some snobby, like I'm the talent, I was like, let me help. I don't mind. I got nothing else going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard. Like I will say this, like it is hard to make things. It's way harder than you think,
Oh yeah, a lot of work, a lot of planning. The things can go wrong.
And just the technical acumen you need to have to like getting good sound. That is hard. That's not an easy thing to do. That's not just a gimme. And then the sound mix is a whole other thing. And then color grading, like matching shots so that they look like the same when you cut, and it doesn't look like a completely different movie. Like it's a lot of technical things that go into making
editing. I mean, ever since I started the YouTube channel, I started editing things. Editing is a lot of work.
Like a lot of work
just by itself. And I mean, yeah, I compare that to what a professional editor has to deal with.
Yeah, who's got amazing editing? I couldn't believe it was Fuentes. Like his video production is spectacular. I don't think he does it, but whoever he hires, like I was watching his Rumble stream last night or 2 nights ago. Wow, like it looks so fucking good. His production values off the charts. I was like, man, can I hire that guy? What's he cost? He does such a good job.
Yeah, I think he said he has like a manager or like a producer or something that helps him or something. Because I remember when he generally talks about when that guy came over to his house with the pistol and all that. He wasn't alone. He had his producer there with him.
Producer there, yeah.
I mean, like I was asking myself this, like, what do you do in that situation? So, like he said that, I kept doing the stream to not make it seem like I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Keep him in the dark and all that.
Yeah.
And then the police came and then they chased him and he killed like a couple of dogs or something. It was
killed like his neighbor's dogs. Yeah. Well, I
couldn't. And the guy murdered his roommate's family.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's insane. Like. And I was shocked to learn that he wasn't armed. Like I'd feel like someone that controversial.
Well, this is Chicagoland.
I mean, you can still get a gun.
That's true.
I know it's tough, but
and then if you use it, then you're the one blamed.
Yeah, it's probably true. Yeah.
Yes,
they'd probably be like, "Oh, now we get to put this kid away." Yeah.
So,
did the National Guard ever show up in Chicago? Did that ever happen?
Well. In a certain part of Chicago, yeah.
Okay. Did you ever see any of it?
No.
Yeah.
One of my buddy from Japan came in like a few weeks ago, and they had it was the day of the No Kings protest.
Oh God.
And I was passing through the Park Ridge suburb, downtown Park Ridge suburb here in Chicago, and it was nothing but like boomers. Just, I mean, it was a peaceful. It was actually a peaceful protest. Like they were
Right.
not on the streets. They were all lined up on the sidewalks, carrying their signs. They're like, honk if you think Trump is this.
No.
And I didn't honk at all because, like, you know, I just, like, I'm not playing your game.
No, it's so cringe. So like, oh god,
Like-
you guys want to
like-
relive
like-
your glory days?
Like I like Trump is not perfect, like
No,
most people, and by far, and I don't. But calling him a king, like what is this?
Doesn't even
Like-
make any sense. Like it's just so out of touch. Like there's plenty of things to get them on. Don't get me wrong, but the
Yeah.
libs are so dumb because if they were even slightly smart, they would know that the MAGA base has a lot of actual issues with what Trump's doing. So
Yeah.
it's like if you were to able to jump on those, then we couldn't deny it. But like the whole deportation thing is like, no. We voted for that. We want that. That's awesome. Keep that up. Like that's the only thing you're doing right, it seems. So it's like the others, but there's so many other things that we do have real problems with, but you guys wouldn't know because they're all racist. So I don't go on X. So I don't know what's going on. I don't watch any of the actual commentators or anyone who might have provide me with real insight. I just watch fucking CNN because I'm in a walking coma like the former president. And that's I can't. You're like, you're never gonna win this, you know? It's like and
they try to call like people like, you know, Republicans or people that support Trump like snowflakes. I'm like, really?
it's like,
You're
okay,
you're going there.
that's just the no you of like that's our insult for you. Like, so you can't
Yeah.
just throw that back at us. Be like, you're a snowflake. Okay.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, because of the whole, you know, Epstein thing, now all these people on that side are calling him a pedophile. Like,
Right.
No.
And that's also stupid, but it's like at least that's one the base cares about. At least that's one where we're like, yeah, fuck. You know, like we can't be like, it's like, no, yeah, we kind of agree with you on that. And there are other things, and they don't know what they are. Because they don't care. Because it's going, we're right. Like every time I talk to my mom, it's like I was telling her about a video. I made 2 videos on Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I asked my mom, or I mentioned it, and I was, do you know who she is? And she goes, yeah, I hate her. And I was just like, why? And she goes, well, no, actually, she said something like she just knew she was supposed to hate her, but it's like she doesn't have a real reason. It's just because the news box told her to think that. And you're like, oh, mom.
Yeah, that's what I've been noticing. Is just like you have people that react to things, and you have people that actually. So I've learned long ago not to, because I've been on the receiving end of bullshit like that. You know, people would make shit up about me, and then everyone would just believe it. And so whenever someone makes something up about or has this claim about somebody saying, "Oh, this person's bad," you know, I usually dismiss it. But unfortunately, like, you know, when 2015 2016 started, I believed some of the stuff. It was, but there were points, and I've mentioned this on, you know, before. I mean, here in Chicago, there was a UIC. UIC is where I went to college.
Okay.
And Trump was supposed to be speaking there, and there was this massive protest. And things got really violent. And then there was also like, you know, MAGA. I think there was some MAGA support, or there were some Republicans there that were being harassed or something. And that was when I was like, wait a minute. I thought I was on the side of kindness and tolerance and,
right,
you know, like all the things I learned from Star Trek, you know, like, you know, ideas, like it's like, you know, it's all about diversity of thought and, you know, giving someone the benefit of the doubt, you know, and it's not like that. They just like, it's because of all the way that the Democrats fearmonger their constituents.
Yeah.
They treat Republicans and probably their constituents as blood enemies, basically.
Yep, absolutely.
And then with this whole Charlie Kirk thing that happened a few months ago, you know, I couldn't believe. I mean, I saw that. I've never seen
celebrations like in real life.
No, I saw him get shot.
Oh yeah,
blood come out, and he just went, oh, and he died. He died right there. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a person die like that.
I've
So
never seen a person that I was aware of die like that. I've seen gore videos and stuff where you see people die, but I've never seen like someone that, you know, I knew as a commentator just not be there all the stuff. Like that was insane. Like I
like
wasn't even a particular fan or anything, but that was devastating.
yes, because I heard like for first I see something on X, JD Vance is like, please pray for Charlie Kirk. I'm like, oh, what happened? I was like, what did he get? Did he get arrested or something? Did something happen?
Yeah.
And then someone said he got hurt. So I was, and then my friend Salty sent me a video. I watched it. I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh my. I was at work. I was like, oh my god. And I was like, because I'm in a cube,
Right,
in an
right.
office, and I see this. I'm horrified. I watched it again, and I was like, I was curious how I would feel watching it. I just started shedding tears. Like it's hard to watch. I told people not to watch it. Like that's that I tell, like if you haven't watched it, like don't watch that.
I didn't watch the close up. I saw the wide angle, and I know the close ups there, and I was like, I can't, like I just can't watch it. And it was like I said, I wasn't even like that big of a fan. Like I knew of him, but it was just I knew why he got killed, and it was so upsetting. And like the people celebrating and all that stuff, that it was just like because it's like I'm no Charlie Kirk, obviously, but I don't say anything on my streams that's any less controversial, probably more so. And so it's like, so then you would want me dead for what I do because I'm saying the things against your orthodoxy. It's like, this is war. You people aren't like, we're not fucking around here, are we? Like, this isn't like, oh, the best idea wins and you'll lie and we'll try to debate you on the, like, no, you literally want us dead because we don't think like you.
And people have justified it, saying, well, he's for school shootings. Why? Because he supports because he supports the Second Amendment. Is that why?
Yeah, he did have a kind of bad take on that, but whatever. It's like, so what? Yeah, so that means he should get fucking murdered. That's insane. Like, because he had a bad speech.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, nobody. Yeah, you don't do that to anybody. I mean, like if you do that, that's red flag. I would not want anything to do with anybody like that.
No.
And all those people that were supposed to be stupid enough to show themselves celebrating.
I know, with their name and face. And the thing is, like, I would never. There's plenty of these people that like I loathe, but I wouldn't want them dead. Like I wouldn't want someone to shoot Hassan. Like I hate him. He's a fucking puke. But I don't think he should die because he's a puke. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. How'd you feel? I was like, I was going to ask you this, like, because a certain vice president just died, even though he's been dying. For 20. He's been, how long has he been dying now? For 30 years.
Didn't he have like 5 heart transplants?
I think he had his first heart attack in 1977, the year Star Wars came out. And this is
really?
Yeah. I mean, he just came out of the, he was part of him and Rumsfeld were part of the Ford administration. I think he was part of the chief. It was part of the chief of, I think, I forget if he was secretary. I forget if he was a cabinet member or if he was a chief of staff or something. I forget. But he had a heart transplant in like 2012. So like, didn't
he have a few of them though? I thought he had like a few.
I don't know.
Which is crazy. If you have more than one, it's like, no, you need to die. Like there's a list here. Like other people need a shot at that heart.
Yeah, I mean, my dad had a bad ticker, and he was only 58 when he died back 11 years ago. So I'm surprised that son of a bitch outlived my dad by a decade. But that's because he was rich and he was, he ran Halliburton. He had all these political connections. He was vice president. He was the reason why we went into Iraq in the first place. Like I was pissed when that happened. I was like, why are we going into Iraq?
I don't shed a tear for neocons at all. Fuck them all.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I voted Democrat. I mean, my first election was 2004. I don't know if you voted. I voted Democrat. I voted for Kerry initially.
I didn't because I at that time, because I was very conservative and pro Bush in high school, and I listened to like Sean Hannity and Michael Savage. And like, I thought they were saying a lot of really smart things, and I thought that they were onto something. And then it was just like, even after 9/11, Bush just did such a shit job as a president that I just was like, because I thought I would have voted Republican, but I just couldn't, because I was like, this guy sucks. So I didn't vote. The first time I voted was for Obama, in 08, because it was like I wanted to change. I believed all the hype. I believed all the things they said about him. Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, if you ever watch like Dave Smith, he's made this point before, and he's right. Like, since Obama, every president that like has gotten elected, maybe save Joe Biden, has been like the anti-war president. Right? Like, that's what we were voting for. That's what we were voting for with Obama. That's why we voted for him. We thought he's going to end all these bullshit wars that these evil, stupid Republicans did. And then, that he made them worse. I mean, he kept them going, like, beginning all the way through his 8 years.
When did they pull people out of Iraq?
Well, it was incremental. There was no like official thing like Afghanistan where we just fled. But it was like it dwindled, and I think it was mostly done under Trump 1.
Yeah, that's what I thought. By the way, because of your stream, I actually bought the Israel lobby.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
right on. Have you started reading it yet?
I have the Audible. I have the audiobooks. I started listening to it.
Yeah.
I mean, we got about 10 more minutes left. I'm really tired. I figured we haven't talked about Israel. I've been reassessing my stance on Israel, because I grew up. I mean, we grew up. I mean, I thought Israel was the good guys.
Of course.
Palestine and all the Arab countries were the bad guys. The Yom Kippur War back in the 70s, the 6-Day War. They were being encroached upon by Egypt and Lebanon and Jordan and all those. And I thought they were just like kicking ass, and thanks to the United States. And I'm hearing all these other things, and like I've been interested. Like I started about a decade ago. I started watching. I hate to say I've been on, I to sound like a downer, but I've been on a Holocaust movie binge. So I watched, Schindler's List,
sure,
The Pianist with Adrian Brody. That one gives me feels. And there's a messed up one that was made by a Russian or Belarusian director. It's called Come and See. Ooh. That's a messed up one.
Okay.
That one actually takes place in Belarus.
Right.
So basically the same place where, Daniel Craig's Defiance takes place.
Oh, yeah.
But it's from the point of view of a boy. He's 12 years old. He's just he starts off playing war. It's 1944 or something. By the end of the movie, he looks like he has aged 20 years.
I think I know what you're talking about. Okay. There's a famous scene from that, right? Where like the act. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
He's just like he's completely like like in complete shock. His hair is gray.
Yeah.
He's got his lips are completely chapped, dry, like crazy.
Yeah.
You watch that movie, you see like it's messed. It's fucked up.
Yeah, it is really fucked up.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like,
but Israel, I mean, like, where did this stem from? You had the Russian and Eastern European pogroms before that. I learned what a pogrom was from watching An American Tale, the animated movie with Fievel.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Mauskowitz,
Yeah.
And then before that, they've been Jewish people, the Jewish diaspora. They've been kicked out of multiple, kingdoms, multiple nations.
109 times, I think it is.
And I mean, I'm reading about this on Google and our typical, our typical internet. And of course, it's like, they've been kicked out because everybody's racist. Now, I've been one of those kids that trouble would find me wherever I go because I was quiet. I wasn't always the best at being conversational. I mean, doing these streams has really helped me, like be better at conversation and communicating with people. But I used to get people who would not either ignore me or I'd be made fun of. But trouble would find me. But like I have to ask the question, like there has to be more to it. It can't be everyone else's fault, but the certain the certain demographic, the Jewish, the descendants of Judah from the Old Testament. Like,
well, for me, like I hear this quoted a lot, and it's on X a lot. And the way I look at it is, it's like, is there something there? Maybe. I don't find it particularly relevant because a lot of those, they always talk about that. It's like, well, a lot of them happened before the year 1000. and then a lot of them happened like in the Middle Ages. And whatever, people want to draw their parallels, that's fine. For me, it's irrelevant. What is relevant is that you should listen to Daryl Cooper's Fear and Loathing in the New Jerusalem series. It's like basically it's a history of the formation of Israel. It doesn't even get into anything like it's I want to say 25 hours maybe.
What's it called again? Fear and Loathing.
Fear and Loathing in the New Jerusalem.
In the New Jerusalem. Okay.
Daryl Cooper, and it's basically it basically starts with like the Zionist roots, like what it was like when it was a concept in like the 1800s, and it wasn't a direct result to like these pogroms and stuff like that, where they were just getting killed in like Eastern Europe all the time.
Yeah,
it was horrifying. So they're like, we're never going to be free in these countries. We're never going to be safe. We need to start our own. And they started looking for different places, and they eventually settled on Palestine. And like carving out like a piece for themselves. And it's obviously a very long, in-depth story. But the thing that gets me is like, the Holocaust had a lot to do with like a big population surge, and there were some big mistakes on the West, in fact, like by the West, in fact, like during this whole thing, like Hitler was like, I want, there's these 10,000 or 100,000 Jews, like, take them, and no one would, and Israel's like, we want them, and they're just the West would not facilitate it, and I think they all died. But there was like, it was like, okay, so they get their country after World War II, like 3 years after, the UN votes on it. A lot of shady stuff happens with the votes, because initially they weren't going to vote on it, and then like someone died, and then someone got pressured, and all of a sudden some votes that weren't going to go for them suddenly went for them. And then immediately, like the day they get their country, they just start shelling the Palestinian villages, just start massacring people.
I heard about that. I heard there's been massive rape too. Is that true?
That I don't know. I'm not like the expert on this subject, but it's just I know of, I'm sure, in war there always is, and it's just been constant war since they got there pretty much. Yeah. So it's it's like with stretches of peacetime, but it just keeps happening because these, the Palestinians, they say, like the liberals say, it's an open air prison. It is like there's literally like machine gun turrets like on the walls, like guarding these people, and I don't know what else you describe it. They don't have any kind of vote. They don't have any kind of government. If there's some crime, they have to go with the IDF, like the military tribunal. That's who decides that's who judges over these crimes. Like they're completely powerless at this place. And it's been like this since 1968. It's like, it's just how it's been. And it's like, there was a war right in 1948. It was against the three countries that are like right around there. I think Syria, Egypt, and was it Lebanon?
Yeah, Lebanon.
Yeah. And they all attack like simultaneously, and the narrative always was like, oh well, that's because they hate Jews. It's like, no, it's because you just started shelling these villages, and hundreds of thousands of Palestinians streamed into these other countries telling the most horrific stories, and these other countries were like, we have to fucking do something about this. So it started like the start of that war. And so much of the history of Israel has been stuff just like that. It's very horrific, like war crime level stuff. I mean, I don't know if you ever heard about the USS Liberty, where they attacked our ship because they were committing war crimes, or they're executing Egyptian prisoners, and they wanted to keep it silent. It's like there's so much there that it's like, look, lots of countries commit war crimes. I don't particularly think Israel's are like they're evil. Are they more evil than the child soldiers in Africa? Are they more evil than like the hobbling? And I don't know. I don't care. What I care about is that we pay for it. Yeah, and they use our military to defend themselves.
We support it, and it's all because some of our politicians get some.
It's the majority.
Yeah,
it's almost all of them. Like there's
how many lobbies? How many lobbies? I mean, AIPAC is obviously that's the big one. Everyone knows AIPAC, but
yeah,
I mean, like how much? Like I'm just curious how much, like how they have captured everybody. Like do they just donate so much money to every politician or something?
It seems like
that's how they do it.
I think we're both about to learn a whole lot more with this book, man.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna get into it because I'm a little behind on my reading. I have to get back at it, but yeah, no, I mean it's like it's crazy. Like in that book, in the preface or the introduction, like that was like 2007,
2006,
yeah, like right around that. They're talking about like Israel and the neocons, like basically Israel lobby inside our government, and their promotion of the Iraq war. Then I've never heard anyone say this until very recently. I never heard anyone say that we fought that war on behalf of Israel until this past year.
I didn't even I didn't even know that. I don't even know what the extent of Israel's relationship with Iraq is. I know everybody knows that they hate Iran, and Iraq and Iran hate each other too. Well, they've hated each other since the 80s.
So the theory goes, there was this memo, and everyone disputes that it didn't exist, except that General Wesley Clark continues to say it does. But the Israel lobby and the Israel shills say it doesn't. But there's this memo called the Clean Break Strategy, and it was 7 nations in 5 years. And basically, it was all the significant power. So, like, the Oslo Accords decided that Palestine does have to be a country. They decided this in the 90s, I think.
Yeah, that's why Yitzhak Rabin got assassinated. That's how I first learned about Israel. I learned about that whole Israel Palestine thing, and I learned about his assassination. That's what kickstarted me into learning about Israel.
Yeah, we'll definitely check out that podcast. It's the way Cooper approaches his podcast is he literally reads every single book on the topic that he can find that exists, and then he does his podcast. So it's like it's the most in-depth, like it's like a masterclass. It's like literally like a graduate level course in the formation of Israel. It's hard, it's brutal, and there's obviously a part of the Holocaust and these mass murders, and even at one point, Daryl gets kind of choked up talking about it. Like, if anyone thinks the entire point is to smear Israel, it's like, that's crazy. This just happens to be the facts.
Yeah. So what's this the
Clean Break memo? You can Google that. That's just a document that exists. But basically, it was to get rid of these major powers, and it was so it was Iraq, Iran. I think it was Somalia, Lebanon, Syria, Egypt. Was it Egypt? Anyway, it's basically the most powerful Arab countries in that region. Was, instead of going with the Oslo Accords, well, what if we just get rid of all the most powerful countries in the area, regime change them to people that are favorable to our goals, and instead of actually going along with what they what would be the human thing to do.
Yeah.
I could talk about this all night, but I know you got to get going, and it's getting late.
There's always, how things are, with, there's always has to be a sequel that includes tutorials. So
yeah.
I mean, I do want to get through that. I do want to get through that book. There's just a lot of stuff I just don't know.
Same.
I do want to see the movie Exodus about the formation of Israel.
Total propaganda
with
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman, yeah.
Even he said during the making that it was propaganda.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually watching a video about all the kind of Israel propaganda that's been in movies for a long time, and that was one of the ones where it's just a straight up lie. It's nothing. It's not even mildly based in reality.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. So
I mean, it's a good movie, but it's not true at all.
Yeah. About the all right, I'll keep that in mind. So
yeah. I mean, I love Paul Newman, so anything he's in.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still want to see. I still have not seen The Hustler.
Great movie, one of my favorite movies. I have a poster.
I still have not seen The Hustler or the Color of Money.
Oh yeah. I love The Color of Money, but The Hustler is the superior movie.
Okay,
so good.
I mean, what was the last movie I saw with him? I think The Verdict. I think I saw.
Oh, great movie. Sidney Lumet. Fantastic film.
Yep. Yeah, I think the movie was referenced in Better Call Saul. And then I was like, okay, I haven't seen this one. And then I saw it was on, I think it was HBO Max or something. Yeah. So I watched it. I was like, oh, wow, this is an excellent movie.
So good. It's so good. And it's just, I love that character just being that bum.
I'm getting more interested in watching older dramas than watching newer films. I besides watching Dressed to Kill, I was watching. You ever see Ordinary People?
Yeah, great movie.
Came out in 1980.
Yeah,
with Judd Hirsch and Donald Sutherland.
And what's her name? Is such a bitch.
Mary Tyler Moore.
Is it
from the Mary Tyler Moore Show?
Cunt.
She's the whole time she hates the son.
Yeah.
And the father's like, I don't think I love you anymore because all you care about is when things are easy.
Mhm.
And we just went through our son died, and our other son tried to self-delete
Mhm.
because and then we find out why the son tried to self-delete, because he
Yeah.
felt guilty for
Yeah.
letting his brother go.
Survivor's guilt. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I thought that was a great thing, but there was a cheesy moment which I thought was kind of dumb. It's what, because he's friends with this girl that was in the psychiatric ward with him.
Oh, God, it's been
Off screen.
so long. I don't remember.
There's one scene where he meets her, and then he calls her because he needs to talk to her because he's going through some stuff, and the parents is like, she's dead, and they hang up, and you hear this cheesy music, and you're like, okay, that's not how people. I mean, that's not how people talk. Like, I'm sorry, son, but she's no longer with us. She passed away, or something like that. But
Yeah.
she's dead. She killed herself. Like, who talks like that?
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't seen that in so long. That's a good movie. Do you like? I'll let you go after this, but do you like Jack Nicholson?
Yeah. I mean, I've been meaning to watch Five Easy Pieces.
Great fucking movie.
My dad had on VHS. He had The Last Detail.
That's what I was going to recommend. If you've never seen The Last Detail, that's one of my favorite movies.
Where he is, him and another guy, I forget his name. They are escorting Randy Quaid to prison, and they're giving him like the time of his fucking life.
It's such a great movie. It's so much fun.
And then he runs, and then he tries to run away, and then they have to catch him, and it was just.
And they get all this shit from the Marine when they finally drop him off. And they're just like, oh, that guy looked pretty roughed up. You guys beat up prisoners? And they're just like, you fucking piece of shit. It's like, it's so great.
Because I think they're Navy. I believe, if I remember correctly, they're Navy.
Yeah. My dad's a Marine, so he's like, great movie. I just didn't like the scene when the Navy guys beat up the Marines.
Okay, yeah.
He's like, that would never happen.
That probably wouldn't. So
yeah.
But yeah, man, is there anything to conclude this? By the way, thanks for doing this. It was a great conversation.
Oh, this was fantastic. Thanks for having me. Yeah, this was great, man.
Anything you want to promote before we go?
No, just Foulball Productions. Check out the MFR podcast every Tuesday night. Do it live, so it's a good time. The show's numbers have been doing well recently. I'm gonna keep on the subject matter because it's getting the eyeballs. Which
your video did really good.
Did pretty good.
40,000 40,000 views.
No, I think like 20, but still, okay. I'll take that. That's fucking great. It's a hot topic. Yeah, anyone out there, a little algo hack, make a video about Fuentes. It'll get some eyes on it. But you're also going to end up with the Groypers, and those guys are a little intense sometimes. So, it's a double-edged sword.
Where did that name come from?
I still don't know, and I don't want to ask.
I was like a groper. I was like, what's a groper? No, it's Groyper.
It might be. I genuinely don't know, and I don't want to ask because the Gen Z kids are going to think I'm a boomer, but.
The Gen Z kids Gen Zers call me boomer all the time. I think it's funny.
Know. They called me a Fed and they called me a Jew in my video. So
really?
Yeah, whatever. But hey, man, this was great.
By the way, I did like that one channel, that young dude that you recommended.
He's good, right?
Yeah. He's pretty passionate,
pretty on point, dude. There's a whole that's my next video is going to be about the Gen Z right, and there's a whole population of kids out there, man. They do not give a fuck, and they are dedicated, they are focused, and they are uncompromising. Most specifically about the Israel thing, they don't care. It's over for them. They're like, that's it, we're done.
Yeah. And neither side, like the left, right, that they're done.
Israel's done. That shit's over. I was saying that on my show on Tuesday. It's like, you guys don't get it. This is over. This is not a conversation anymore. We're not voting for anyone. We're not partaking in this anymore. It's done. We know the truth. The cat's out of the bag. You had a good run, and it's fucking over now. Yeah. But anyway, all right.
Well, all right. So everybody, definitely subscribe to Foulball Productions. I don't know if I have the link in the description. I'll have to change it. I have to go into edits and say add Foulball Productions, so that way they can click on it.
Yeah.
So definitely check out every Tuesday night. I'll have to keep. All right. I'll keep that in mind. It'll be my Wednesday morning commute. I'll probably watch the replay.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's very cool of you, brother.
Hey, dude, you got the. I mean, like I'm jealous. I want to have the gift of gab. Like I need to have someone to talk against to do this. So it takes a lot of practice to do it by yourself, just to because sometimes I forget words. Like I'm like, what word am I thinking right now? And it's like in the back of my head, and I don't have Mo Larry Curly to hit me in the back, like knock in the front, So
it's hard. It's a good exercise though. I started doing it. I used to cover every single episode of The Expanse, and then I would just talk about it and sort of play it a little bit in the background. Obviously not on stream, but I would play it so that I would have something to talk about, And so that would give me like a way to bounce off the shows, because it is tough to be on camera by yourself. I mean, it's incredibly vulnerable, especially when it's live and you can't pause. You have to just keep talking and talking, and it's like it's a little nuts, but it's a good exercise because you can learn that skill,
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, everybody, well, take care. Have a good night. Stay safe. Stay Nerporio, and subscribe to Foulball Productions and check out his Tuesday show. All right.
Thanks, brother. Much appreciated, man.
All right, everybody, take care. Have a good night. Be good to each other.